Hey, morning everyone. As you can see, it's raining. I'm trying to fight between the raindrops there. Today, when the sun goes down, is going to be the first day of Ramadan. That means I've been in Morocco during Ramadan, and everything shuts down during the daytime. Restaurants are usually hard to get into in the evenings because everybody's breaking their fast for the day. It is 10 o'clock. My alarm did not go off because I had it on Do Not Disturb. And then on this phone, the Do Not Disturb overrides the alarm clock unless you tell it not, unless you set it to turn off before the alarm clock turns on. Anyway, I had to pack up all my stuff. Everything is pretty well. I got in the bags. It's ready to, it's just the tent is one of the things that had to be packed on first because it tucks up underneath my seat, and then the backpack, well, saddlebags, tent, backpack, ground mat. Anyway, Rioch, or I think the locals pronounce it Rio, is the closest town here, and basically on the coast. So I'll be getting out of the mountains. Thank God. Doesn't mean that there's not more mountains to come. There are. I just these were a very hard test for me, and like I said, it was that 80%. I lost that 80% of my survival. You know, my attitude dropped. But that friendly person, that friendly face, he doesn't know how much him and his family invited me in for that meal and a hot cup of coffee when it was raining and I was tired and I didn't eat the day before. He doesn't know how much. He actually revived my spirits and gave me new hope. And that's hope is what is driving me today to get to Rio. It's only 12 kilometers out. I have to hit this mountain pass, so it turns a 180 this way and then another 180 up this way, and I should be over the mountain pass. Hopefully there's not much after that. And then get down to Rio. I found two places that were listed for, well, not listed, you know, in the comments when nothing's listed on Agoda or booking.com, which Agoda is the main app here in Southeast Asia. You get in the comments and you hoping someone either posted a picture with the prices on it, and make sure you see what year it was actually posted. Or the comments when they, I love you guys when you leave the comments of how much the basic room is. Not the most luxurious one. Some people do that, and it's kind of like, well, gives you a little bit of an idea. But they posted that two separate spots posted 100,000. So that's my wheelhouse. $100,006. I'm good with that. Probably internet's bad because it's still like a village. It's not like a huge town or anything. We don't have much to select from. One had good ratings, one had bad ratings. Hopefully they're not packed out. I have to get there before Ramadan because although here in Flores it seems to be more Christian based, a lot of churches, and not so Muslim as some of the other ones, but I'm assuming that they still honor the traditions. I don't know how much they honor the traditions and stuff like this of, like, even as even some spots they're not Christian, but they celebrate Christmas, even though I don't think Christmas is really, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. So I don't know how many of the businesses are going to be closed, and I don't want to disrespect anybody by showing up at their business and trying to get a room after, sunset. So that's all it is. I'm trying to respect all traditions and, and plus, you know what? I was in Morocco, so that is definitely Muslim, 100% Muslim. So anyway, guys, that's the plan. Yeah, so my spirits are up. I'm ready to hit this again. Thanks for sticking with me through my hardships on this mountain pass. I'm sure there's more to come. And I just want I left all that on video. I'm not one of those people that pull over to the side with a car and start crying into the camera. I don't like showing my emotion that way. But sometimes I thought, I need to share a little bit of the raw reality of what I'm facing always. this reality was in the other mountain passes too, where I thought they just won, you know, because there's times you just have to push through these things. You will get through it, but it's all up in the head. You will get through it. Even when your body says, no, I can't do it anymore, your body's lying to you. It's all up in your head. Until you have a heart attack, your body's lying to you. When you have a heart attack, then you're like, oh, I think it's telling the truth. Anyway, I blabbed way too long, so I'm going on 6 minutes. Hit the road, hit the mountain, and we're going that way, then that way, and then that way, and hopefully down. Excuse me, sorry. Just some rice fields, but took this out to clean it off, and I noticed there's moisture underneath the lens. This is not the macro lens. I haven't been using the macro lens yet. I'll get around to using it. So this is supposed to be the waterproof one. I'm pointing at the lens. I know it looks like I'm just pointing at the screen, but yeah. So I pull this, and so somehow this is supposed to be the waterproof one. I'm wondering when it got under there. But yeah, moisture buildup underneath the lens. Good job there, DJI. You put out a really crap product. What can you do? Just too many problems with this one camera. Well, I made it down to the ocean again. Ah, yes, I made it through the mountain pass. And obviously I'm going in just to film. I have no business here. So I made it down to the docks. That means we got through that. Yay. All right. It's only 11 o'clock, so I'm going to make up my mind because the weather's good again. How far I want to push this today. I'm going to get on maps and see what's next. And see if I can go farther. There's a town I can find. Hello. Hello, hello. So yeah, I only got about 5 more kilometers to get to Rio. Hey. Hey. Hello. Hello, hello. Yeah, here it is. There's the magic word. Give me money. Okay, we're about 2 kilometers out from Rio, so we're getting there. And this is where I say, stop recording. Alright guys, even though it's early in the morning, nice little coffee shop. I'm got here in Rio, and it's a little bit bigger than the village. You know, I mean, it's still got its small size, but it's definitely bigger than a village because the buildings are not village buildings. They're town, or yeah, town. We call it a town. But for 100,000, free coffee, no Wi-Fi, but very high ratings. 100,000, $6. This is one of the cheaper spots. Hopefully, there you go. This is what I'm after. I'm after a bucket. Well, I'm after a bucket shower. I've grown to like the bucket showers more than I like the actual shower because it's nice just to dump a big old thing of water over your head. And yeah, check it out. For 100,000, got a nice little fan, very clean. The guy up front was very happy. I mean, very nice. So yeah, this has got good ratings, and I can see why. Very clean here, and very homey feeling. So, okay, let's do a little walk around. Ooh, that's some wet tile right there. I'll just try not to slip. So guys, I'm more than anything, even though it's noon, I don't want to push forward. I want to sit and plan my route, see how many things are in between. I mean, going through those mountains, there was absolutely nothing. Except for the kindness of people. Everyone was like, just ask someone to stay at their house. And so that's one of those options that you got to do. But me, I'm a camper. I love camping. I prefer to make my own schedule. When you're at someone's house, you're just a guest. And so it's not that I'm shunning any type of kindness. Yesterday was a perfect example of me almost walking away from a kindness that was offered. And if I would have done that, then the rest of that trip would have just been total misery. And, you know, like an angel from heaven, he swooped in and something kicked inside me and said, ask him about a restaurant. So I asked him if there was a spot to eat, and he's like, no, because he already offered a cup of coffee. And I was like, no, I've got to move on. I got to keep on moving. You know, that determination, even though I was being beaten, you know, I still had that determination to push forward. And then I was like, is there a spot to eat around here? And he goes, no, but you can come in to my family and we cook you up some noodles and egg, get some meat, you know, and with some rice. And man, since not eating the day before, I know I'm repeating myself. It's just, I needed that kindness so bad, and I almost walked away from it. So I do have that bit of that stubbornness, and this time I'm staying here. I'm not going to pass up just because it's early in the day. I'm not going to pass up the chance to take a shower, to recharge my devices and recharge my soul. And yeah, the hardest part I do feel is over, coming through them mountains after mountains. And by the way, that was close to, I think, over 100 kilometers of mountains. So yeah, it was somewhere between 100 and 150 kilometers of mountains. Anyway, I don't want to blab on too long, so I'll go back down and get my stuff. I'll keep the camera rolling though. Little sitting area. Ah, beautiful. Look at this. Little koi pond. Nice. Little fishies. Unpack. And free coffee. I just bring free coffee, but I have my own. And a backup generator. Hi guys. That's it for today. It's all about taking a shower, relaxing. We'll continue tomorrow. Hey everyone, I'm just stepping out of the shower. There's so much to do when you first get into a hotel. I kind of started recording it and I was like, I'm going to cut this back, make it a little shorter. So I did everything first instead of just filming it while I was doing it, because it's just dragged out process. First thing you got to do is when you first get here is you got to start hanging up everything to dry. So like that's dry. Out here we got my tent, it's pretty well almost dry. They were so soaked. My other rain cover, it's drying. Then that's step one, drying out everything. Step two, well, battery banks. That's usually can be step three because battery banks, it depends on how low you are and how much. This one still had 63 charge. So this is the 50,000 milliamp hour one, and this is the 30. So believe it or not, I think the 30 takes longer to charge up. This one's been the trusty soldier. I got it a long time ago. If you guys ever wondering where these things came from, how I purchased them and all that, you have to watch the old videos. Everything how much money I spend per day, you know, used to be in my older Vietnam videos in Cambodia, and I was listing how much for the curious people, but that's not something you do every day, and it can be, you can't do that every single video. So I'll try and go back and start titling them better, so for easier reference, so you guys can look it up. I know I had some of the questions from some people that want to start up doing the same type of travel as me, and I fully support it. You want to be the hobo, be the hobo. You know, I fully support my decision to be a vagabond. And there's other ones that people like to give us grief. They're like, well, you're not like, anyway, let's continue on. I'm not going to go on this side trail. So dry out everything, charge up everything, and that's even, I cleaned off my ground tarp, even though it's just a plastic bag, it still needs to be cleaned and hung up to dry, and start washing everything. Luckily, someone left some of this for me, so it's probably the other half what they didn't use. So everything's bucket soaking right now. I got on my clean ones, and yeah, but yeah, so that's it. I just want to be real simple. Those are the three main things when you first get in, and they take a while. You know, cleaning your clothes take a while because I got to hang them up to dry afterwards. I got to take these down because nice cross breeze, you know, dries everything real fast. So yeah, that's it. And yeah. And that's when you can go down to the corner store, get something to drink, and start relaxing. All right, guys, that's it. I just want to show you what needs to be done when you first get into a room. Hello everyone. I found out there's an Alpha Mart here, so a little bit bigger in a village. I wanted to actually just walk, and I decided to grab the camera and just talk a little, do just a little bit of a ramble as I'm walking. And I'm back to the Pocket 3 on this one. I've been using the Action 6 all day today because of the rain and just to use it. I wanted to mention something about what's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Wikipedia's knowledge, or basically AI, says the Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive, there you go, bias where individuals with low competence in a particular skill or domain greatly overestimates their own knowledge or ability. And I wanted to talk about this because when it comes to homeless people, I see one person that's been attacked over on his channel. Now his channel's gotten big really quick. He's doing very good. His name is Homeless Kiwi in London. Being homeless as long as I have been, like knows like. Meaning I know a homeless person when I see him. I know it from the gear. I know it from his mannerism. And I know it from his attitude, but there's two different types of homeless people. And the person that decided to attack him has their own homeless channel and decides to call him a fake homeless person. And he's not. And I'll put my money where my mouth is, because I know a fake homeless person when I see one. And that guy that's attacking him is a fake homeless person. And he's got his homeless channel, which he started just a few months ago, probably inspired by homeless Kiwi in London, and wanted to get the same popularity and boost in ratings and likes and all this stuff as he did. So he's trying to build his channel by destroying a very popular channel. Now me, they're not going to destroy me. I have a small channel. But that's how it is. And yes, I'm jealous of him too at sometimes, but that's just because he's come a long ways. He's got good material, stuff like this. But they started attacking him by comparing him to the other type of homeless person there is. So there's the homeless by choice, which is usually 80% of most of the homeless people are homeless by choice. But then there's a 20% other margin that's usually their circumstantial homelessness. They're the ones that usually you see at the homeless shelters. They're the ones that are either homeless because of a loss of a job, loss of a loved one, mental illness, or drug problems. Those are the people that you usually see within the city limits, staying at the shelters, eating at the food banks. You know, and if they're new to being homeless, they're usually trying to work programs and stuff like this. But if they don't have a job within a month or two, they usually fall into the category of just being a bum. Meaning they lose all hope and they just are happy in their misery, because the same programs that try to help them also the same programs that help them out of the actual homelessness that they're in can also cause them to stay in that homelessness, because if you just give up trying to get a job and stuff like this, they'll still give you free food, they'll still give you a free spot to live. But the other 80% is where Adam from Homeless Kiwi in London, that's his name, falls into. He's the vagabond. He's the homeless person by choice, the person that loves being homeless, the person that plans on doing it for the rest of his life. You know, like this fella right here. So I'm not going to say that there's not homeless imitators out there, you know, just trying to make money off YouTube. Everybody's trying to make money off YouTube. But I've been accused of the same, being an e-bagger, and only in it for the money, and that's all I'm doing. And these things are not true at all, because it's just people talk you into picking up a camera, or you decide to pick up a camera and you start filming yourself. And if the opportunity comes where you can start making money, you get monetized, you take advantage of it, you know? So I just wanted to stop and say, for people that don't know what they're talking about, they don't know, you know, that there's two different types of homeless people out there. There's the ones by choice and the ones by circumstances. Then you should probably keep your mouth quiet, because you're falling under the Dunning-Kruger effect, and you're spouting off knowledge that you have very little information about. So anyway, brother, I know you probably never see this, Adam. Your channel is an inspiration. Even though you started out for me, you're an inspiration. I love what you're doing. I like to see the growth that you've been doing, and your material is awesome. Your thumbnails I admire. So brother, I know you're real. And for the people that wonder why he doesn't do a tarp, because there's tinters and tarpers, and it takes a true professional to go out there in the woods with just a tarp. I've done it before, but it's you're cutting back on weight, and you know, it's just something you do if you're a professional. You know how to make a good living space out of a tarp. So brother, yeah, I'll keep watching your material, and you're doing good. Don't pay attention to the haters. Let the haters keep on hating, because that's all they're gonna do. And everyone else, I'm sorry about the ramble. I'm just trying to fill up time. Oh, anyway, Alpha Mart, woohoo!